the first step to quitting weed is to admit that you have a problem and you actually need the desire within you to quit. This cannot come from any external forces such as your mom, your spouse, or anyone else telling you to quit, because you won't really find the need to quit if you don't find it within yourself first. You see, if you don't admit that you have a problem, then you would think it's okay and you don't have the willpower to quit. And you'll add any justifications on why you should roll up that spliff, why you should roll up that blunt, or take a rip of that bong because you don't have the desire within you to quit. You see, I got into smoking weed when I was in college. I was straight edge in high school and I didn't have the desire to smoke because I feel like it didn't resonate with me. And it would be too much out of my way to smoke at that time in high school. Like I was completely fine sober and I love being sober. This is the natural rhythm of life. And but when I got to college, I loosened up and it gave me justification to start smoking weed. So I'm not talking about weed in a negative way, but it's amazing how the human brain adds reasoning and story and justification to our actions that have a negative impact on us. So when I was in college, it gave me an excuse to loosen up. And, I was out partying, smoking with my boys, smoking with some girls. It was a social activity. It was a way to connect with others. And I loved it. I smoked at my peak when I was smoking the heaviest. I smoked about, this was for 4 years straight. I smoked about 3 times a day for every day for about 4 years. And after college, it slowly slowed down. But during these times, I was in a hazy state of mind. Like we're smoking purple haze just to be in a hazy state of mind. And what does haze mean? Haze mean unclear, confused. Excuse me. Yeah, haze mean clear, unclear, confused, and this is what my mindset was. When I was smoking heavily, it became my life instead of being a part of my life. Like I saw marijuana as my daily greens instead of it being like a treat or a dessert. It was like I would wake up, hit one of my boys, like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, what strain you got? What strain do you got?" So I could escape this reality and put my mind in a haze by smoking purple haze. You see? And during this time period of heavily smoking, being a stoner, being a pothead, it's I didn't have a higher purpose in life. It gave me a reason just to be social with my friends. And I was distracted spending money I didn't have on weed, and I was not much better than a heroin addict or a crack addict. Just because weed is less toxic, less dangerous, doesn't minimize the behavior I had with weed. And when I found the true purpose and when I got more focused, I saw how weed was really impacting me. And this all came from within. This is not because someone told me to stop smoking weed. You have to admit yourself from within that it's a problem in order to stop. So that's step one. Recognize it's a problem and you have to find the desire to stop from within you. Step number two, change your routine and find a new activity. See, the key to quitting weed or anything for that matter is just to replace the habit. So weed, if we have weed and we use it as a means to relieve stress or it's our after work activity, then we'll use that as justification to keep in the same patterns of smoking weed. See, we have to recognize our cues, our routine, and the reward. Think about any habit in this way: cue, routine, reward. What is cueing you to roll that spliff? What is cueing you to stuff that bowl with weed and take a rip of it? What is cueing you to smoke? So the cues could be your spouse made you mad. You had a stressful day at work. That's your cue. That's your trigger to make you want to roll up weed. Then your routine, it could be, get out of work after a stressful day and you go to your favorite spot to smoke. It could be a park or it could be your own bedroom. You roll up and the reward is you being high. This is how we control our life, by being conscious of our habits and controlling them. You see, people who quit, I can't speak for everyone, but people who quit, there's a little voice in the back of their head that's always telling them that, one piece won't hurt. One piece won't hurt. One puff won't hurt again. It's just going to be another one-time experience just to feel it. But that voice is so quiet because you have a new habit. So when I stopped smoking weed heavily, started learning a new language, started a new business, started making more YouTube videos. And when I was smoking, I would think I would smoke, then record a video, but actually this made me lazier. So when you quit, when you find your first purpose, when you follow the first step and recognize there's a problem and you have that desire within you to quit, then you relieve this is the first step. You stepped on the first step. You're on the first stepping stone to a higher path of life. And you see, you think you're getting high by smoking that purple haze, but you actually get higher when you put it down and you become sober. That's when you become higher in life. You become more productive and you become a better self, a better version of yourself. You see, another point. And it's just about the small wins. And you have to think about it in threes. So I know if you smoke heavily for few years or whatever, 10 years plus, those first 3 days are going to be hell for you because your body is so used to taking in that smoke, which is toxins. Let me digress a little bit. There's people who say weed is natural and it comes from the ground, but that may be true, but drying it, put it in a paper, burning it and inhaling the smoke in your lungs is not natural at all. So we're meant to inhale oxygen. So after you've been smoking for 5 years every day and your body doesn't get a hit of that THC, you will feel sick as whatever. And those 3 days are going to be hell for you. But the universe works in threes. So those 3 days are going to be hell. But by the 5th day, it's not going to be so bad. Your body is slowly releasing the toxins and your lungs will feel lighter. So what I say, do it for 3 days, master the 3 days, then go for 3 weeks, then go for 3 months. It's not as hard as you think. Don't get fazed by the first 3 days. This is just a learning curve. This is your body rehealing itself. You may even become more anxious because your body and mind is trained to have a dependency on this THC. You created the narrative that you needed this to function. You needed this to relieve your anxiety. Trust me, I've all been through it. This is with any addiction. This is not just marijuana. And this is a small win. The small wins over time accumulate into big wins. Say you quit smoking weed and first 3 days you're getting cold sweats, you can't even eat, your diet is out of whack because you're so used to just eating foods high. This is part of the journey. Nothing good comes easy. The law of the universe works in threes. So after you master the 3 days, you hit the 3 weeks, then you hit the 3 months, and then you prove to yourself that you could do this. Like, you have a stoner friend, and these pretty terms, stoner, pothead, you're just an addict. Like, weed may not be chemically addictive, but it is psychologically addictive. We have people out here saying they could quit, but they never tried it. They've been smoking every day for 5 years. How do you know you could quit? It all comes from the self-realization from within. So take these small wins, take it one day at a time, and focus on where you want to be. This is how you quit smoking weed. You replace the habit. This is the second step. You replace the habit. You know, say you're smoking this high right now. Think about that idea or those ideas you've been putting on the back burner, and you've been smoking yourself into a blue dream to forget about it. You know, you smoke yourself into a blue dream just to end up sour after. And then the end result is a hazy mind. Think about the long term and where you want to be. If the final version of yourself isn't smoking weed, or it's smoking way less than you are now, hit the 3-day break. Hit the 3-week break. Hit the 3-month break. And if you want to go all in, go for 3 years. Watch how life takes you. You'll get way higher than that purple haze, that blue dream you're smoking. This is how it is. This is how it is. And remember, don't be so hard on yourself. These are the 2 reasons you need to quit smoking weed. And that there's a problem and you want to have the desire within yourself, not externally, to quit. And then watch your habit. Replace that habit of smoking weed with something else. It could be a sport, or you could become a gym junkie. Instead of a weed junkie, become a gym rat. Whatever hobby, all of us has a hobby inside of us. We're all sent here for a higher calling, and it's up to you to find that from within. How to Quit Weed, more studios out. Get the book, The Cage Bird Still Flies, out on Amazon, link in the bio. If you have a friend that's struggling with weed or want to quit, share this video. Like, comment, subscribe. More studios out. Be well. Peace.